We're going to call this multi-step equations. Okay. And so definitely this is a break from what other seventh grade math classes are doing. They don't go in depth out like this because we're preparing you for Algebra 1 next year, okay? So multi-step equations are equations that involve several steps. So we usually have like a game plan, or we want to do the steps in a certain order, okay? So first thing I want to do is kind of highlight the steps, okay? So first step, you want to, if possible, and it's always if possible, distribute. Kind of think of this as the order of operations. Distribute if needed. We may not need to distribute, but that's the first thing we should look for. Okay? So the next thing is we're going to combine like terms on either side of the equal sign. So on either side, I'm going to say that means you combine everything on the left side that you can, you combine everything on the right side. Okay? On either side of the equal sign. Okay? Third step is after you've combined all the like terms, eliminate the variable on one side of the equal sign. So we talked about that and we did that in the last lesson. Eliminate the variable term on one side. If needed. We're not always going to need to, but if we need it, it should be eliminated. Okay? Any questions? So we're distributing if needed. Combine like terms on either side. That's probably going to have to happen, but if needed. Eliminate the variables term on one side of the equal sign if needed. So now we're going to eliminate the constant. At this point, you should have a two-step equation. So eliminate the constant. Again, if needed. And the last step, at this point, after you've done all these 4 steps, you should have one step where you have the coefficient and you would eliminate the coefficient. Again, if needed. Okay, so that's kind of our checklist. 5 things we got to make sure and do. And if we do them in the right order, specifically this order, we'll get the right answer. Okay, so this is what we're going to do to solve our equations. Any questions? Okay, so if you're ready, give me a thumbs up, a B or a D in the chat, and we'll move on to the next step, which is just let's solve some equations. Let's do it. Okay, so we're going to solve, which means find out what the variable is. Okay, so we'll do equals -30. Go ahead and write that down. Okay. So let's take a look here, guys. So the very first thing we want to see, look at your checklist. What's our first step? Tell me in the chat. What is the very first thing I should be doing? Distributing, if needed. And yes, here we got parentheses. We want to distribute. Okay. So let's multiply through by, what do we have here? 6. So this is going to be 6 times y minus 6 times 10 equals -30. Okay. Any questions? Okay, so we took care of the first step. We distributed. We did have to do that. Now, take a look at your equation. It says combine like terms on either side. Look at the left side of the equation. Do we have any like terms we can combine on the left? No. None on the right either. So that step wasn't needed. Eliminate the variable term on one side. So do we have variables on both sides? No. I'm just running down the list, okay? Just be patient if you're already telling me what to do. So we don't have to do any of those. Can we eliminate a constant? Is there a constant I can eliminate? Is there a number by itself that it can be removed? That's a constant. Now is when you tell me what to do, Hamilton. Yes. We got that -60. And Hamilton's been clamoring, add 60, add 60. This is when we do it. You just kind of run down that list. Okay. So now we get 6 times y equals -30 plus 60. So that's 30. All right. And then we want to get rid of the 6. So we do the last step, eliminate the coefficient, divide by 6 to eliminate that coefficient of 6. And we get 5. Our answer is 5. Okay. So this is a multi-step equation. We had to distribute. We had to eliminate a constant, eliminate a coefficient. Okay. Any question? Okay. Let's do another one. A little tougher. Okay. So let's do number 2. And this time it's going to be 3 times 5n minus 1 equals 33. Okay? Okay. I'll give you a minute. Think about what we're doing. This is very similar to the one we just did, right? So it's going to be the same steps. You look for parentheses. If you see them, then we would have to distribute. So we do have to distribute. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's distribute 3. Tell me in the chat, what do we end up with after we distribute 3? Five n, 15n minus 3, yes. 15n minus 3 equals 33. Okay. Now, let me get Jaime in here. And Miss Jaime, he wasn't here yet. Okay. Hey, Jaime, join us. We're taking notes on multi-step equations here, okay? All right, I'm going to get rid of this minus 3. Add 3. And we get 15n equals 36. Okay. Okay, no worries. We're just hop into what we're doing and you'll be fine. Okay? Thank you for letting me know, though. Okay, so let's go ahead and get rid of the coefficient. Divide by 15. And that will tell us what n is. Now, 15 doesn't go into 36. So we can write this as a decimal. We can write this as a fraction. Okay. A bunch of you are saying 2.4, 2.4. So you can do that. That would certainly work. Give me a second. So I can do 36 divided by 15, and it's 2.4. And that would work. So we can also, divide that, simplify it and divide, or leave it as an improper fraction. 12/5, right? And then you can write that as 2 2/5. Or 2.4. You guys like 2.4? Let's write 2.4. But it's important to recognize it could be an improper fraction. It could be a mixed number. It could be a decimal. Any one of those is okay. All right. So these are all acceptable answers. All right. Any questions? Okay. Someone's just asking for a little bit of time so they can. Okay. So we're going to move on to another problem. Number 3. -7 x minus 5 equals 18. Okay. Any questions? All right. So first thing, can we distribute? Yes, we can. So let's start with that. What do I get when I distribute -7 here? What's that going to become? Remember, negative times a positive, then negative times a negative. Again, when I do -7 times x, that would be -7x. But when I do -7 with -5, that's a negative times a negative, plus 35. And that's 18. Okay? All right. So let's go ahead and get rid of this 35. We'll put a minus or negative 35 on both sides. Bring down the -7x. All right. And now what do I get? -7x equals, I got 18 and -35. -17. Yeah, you subtract and keep the sign of the bigger number. Okay. And now we get rid of our coefficient, divide by 7. Looks like we're going to get another non-integer answer. So let's see, x is, what can x be? It's a negative divided by a negative, so it could be 17 sevenths. Or it can also be, what's another possibility? I won't do a decimal this time. 7 into 17, that goes in what, 2 and 3 sevenths? Or we can do 17 divided by 7. See, that's a messy, ugly answer, so I'd rather not do. I want an exact answer. I don't want to have to approximate. So I'm going to do 2 and 3 sevenths. If I would have rounded it off, I would have to change this equal sign to the squiggly equals for approximately equal to. And I want an exact answer. So I'm going to do it as 2 and 3 sevenths. Okay. Any questions? All right. So are you ready? We're going to step it up. So give me a B or a D if you're ready. If you need more time, let me know as well. So in the chat, let me know if we're ready to move on. Okay, let's do it. So this one will really kind of up the ante. So let's say we have 3 parentheses 4x minus 5 minus 4x plus 1 equals negative 6. Write all that down. Okay? So this time, it's going to be a little more than just distributing, than adding, subtracting, or then dividing or multiplying. It's a little more. Okay? But what's our first step? Write it down. Tell me in the chat, what's the first thing I have to do? Look at your chart, or look at our rundown menu here. What shall we do first? It says to distribute if you can, and we can distribute. So the very first thing we're going to do is distribute 3 into 4x and 5. Let's do that. So that's going to be 12x minus 15 minus 4x plus 1 equals negative 6. All right. So there it is. All right. Take a look, though. Now it still looks messy, though. So what's the next thing we have to do after we distribute? We distributed. Got to do something else. Look at your list. What does it tell us to do? It tells us to combine on either side. So on the right side, it's just negative 6, nothing to combine. On the left side, we got a few things we can combine. We have 12x, and that's going to combine with negative 4x. Those combine. We also have negative 15, a constant. That combines with positive 1. Okay? Those go together. So remember, the variable terms with the same variable go together. The constant terms go together. Okay? Let's combine those. So now we got to do 12 take away 4. Okay, that's going to be 8. We also do negative 15 and positive 1. That's negative 14, so minus 14. And that equals negative 6. Any questions so far? Okay. So after that, look at your list. What's the next thing you want to do after you do that? It tells us eliminate the variable term on one side if needed. Well, we only have variables on the left, so we don't need to do that. So we're going to remove a constant. We're just going to bump on over to the next step. We get rid of the constant. So we get 8x equals -6 and 14, that's +8. And now the last step, we want to eliminate the coefficient. The coefficient is 8. That's being multiplied with x, so divide by 8. And what's our answer? What does x turn out to be? 1. 8/8 is 1. Or think of it, 8 divides into 8 one time. And we have our answer of 1. Any questions? Okay. Did I lose anyone there? You guys seem like you did okay with that. At least no one's saying, I'm so confused. All we're doing is running down that list we wrote down at the beginning. Okay? And like I said, we're just taking all the pieces that we've been working on and then just doing them in the specific order. Okay? All right. So let's move on. I got to turn my page, though. Got to turn my page. So if that's okay with you. Yeah, that's going to come with practice, guys. That's going to come with practice. Okay? So if you're ready, let's move on to the next one. Give me a B or a D if I can move on. Okay, let's do it then. That was problem number 4. We're going to do number 5. Number 5. Okay, so number 5, we're just going to make it a little more challenging, not a whole bunch. -2, parentheses, -4m minus 1 minus m plus 3 equals -30. Okay? Go ahead and write that down. Okay. If you're ready, give me a B or a D. All right. So first step is always, can we distribute? And we can. We got parentheses. So let's distribute. Okay? Let's start off with that, and let's see what we get. So we're going to distribute -2 with -4m. So that's going to be +8m. And then -2 with -1. That's going to be negative times a negative is a positive again, so +2 minus m plus 3 equals -30. Okay, what do we do after that? What's our next move? Combine. So we got to see what we can combine. We have 8m and minus m. Those combine. And then we have 2 and 3. Okay? Those combine. All right? Any questions? All right. No questions? Let's move right along. Okay? So if you're ready, let's combine these. So real quickly, if I have 8m minus m, what does that give us? 8m minus m. 7m. Okay. Is anyone confused that that would give us 7m? You have 8 m's, you remove an m. Remember, you can always put a 1 here. So if you're not comfortable, you didn't see it, remember, if you don't have a coefficient in front of a variable, give it a 1. So it's 8 take away 1, 7m. And then 2 plus 3 is 5 equals negative 30. Okay. Any questions on that? All right, then. Let's go ahead and get rid of the 5 here. So we have 7m equals negative 35. Okay. And divide by 7. And we get our answer. And our answer turns out to be negative 35 sevenths, which is negative 5. Okay. Any questions? Okay. So if you're ready, we'll move on to our next problem. We have 2 more left, and then we're done. Okay, give me a B or a D. Let me know that we're ready to go on. Thumbs up, please, or thumbs down. Okay, let's do it. Number 6. Let's say 3 times 2x plus 2 minus x minus 2 equals 2x plus 39. Okay, what's the difference between this problem and the last one? See if you can catch it. What's the difference? Look at this one. Look at the previous one, or even the one before that. Look at problem number 5. Look at problem number 4. Okay. Good catch, Beatrice. Anybody else see it? How's equation number 6 different from number 5? Yeah, all right. Michael saw it. We got variables on both sides now. Okay. So the last couple of examples will have that. No big deal. We've dealt with that. So this basically has everything to consider. Starting with distributing. Let's start with that. Distribute. Okay, let's distribute to 3. So that's going to be 6x plus 6 minus x minus 2 equals, okay, on the other side, nothing to distribute, so just bring it down. Okay, so the first thing we have to do was distributing, and we did. Second thing we always have to do is combine like terms on either side. Definitely on the left side of the equal sign, we can combine. Is there anything I can combine on the right side? No, that stays 2x plus 39 for right now. Okay, so let's combine. 6x combines with minus x, and minus 6 and minus, or plus 6 and minus 2 combine. So let's do all that. Let's combine. 6x take away x is going to be 5x. Okay, and 6 minus 2 is 4, and it's positive, so it's plus 4. So now we've got 5x plus 4 equals 2x plus 39. Any questions? Okay, so now after combining on either side, it says eliminate the variable on one side or the other if needed. And this time we do need to. We have 5x on the left, 2x on the right. Which one should we eliminate? The 5x or the 2x? Remember, you'll get the same answer either way. I would get rid of 2x myself. Let's get rid of 2x, minus 2x. To cancel that positive 2x. Okay, so that's going to give us 3x plus 4 equals 39. All right. So far, so good. All right. So get rid of the constant. So we get 3x equals 39. Take away 4 is 35. Get rid of the 3. So we've got 35 thirds, which it could possibly be, what would that be? 11 and 2/3. Or 11.6 repeating. Either one is good. Remember, it's that one's a repeating decimal. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Can you back me up on that? If you do it on the calculator, what's 35 divided by 3? Okay. So some of you love your decimals. I'll give you the decimal. But we got to be accurate and put the bar there. That way we can put the equal sign. Okay? Any questions? Okay. Okay. So last problem, number 7. So here we go. -2 minus n plus 4 minus 3n plus 2. Okay. Equals 2 parentheses n minus 1 minus 3. Okay, this is about as tough as they get. You got all kinds of stuff going on. I bet you never thought you'd be solving an equation like this, huh? Just take it step by step, guys. That's how we solve these. So first question, can we distribute? Oh boy, can you distribute? Some people are saying we can distribute twice, and that is correct. We distribute here and here. So let's do that step where we distribute. Okay, let's see what we get. Negative times negative is positive, so positive 2n. Negative times positive is negative, so minus 8. Minus 3n plus 2. We'll distribute on the other side, so 2n minus 2 minus 3. Okay? So next question. So we've distributed. Combine the like terms on either side. So we got some combining, quite a bit of it. I can combine 2n with what else? Oh, wait, no, that's a positive. That's right. Negative 3n. I can also combine minus 8 and plus 2. On the other side, I can also do some combining. What can I combine on the other side of the equal sign? Follow along. What can I combine? If you ignore this side, what can I combine over here? Yeah, the minus 2 and the minus 3. Okay? So let's do all that. Combine the 2n minus 3n. That's going to be negative 1n. Combine negative 8 and positive 2. That's going to be minus 6. Right? Negative 8 and 2 is negative 6. Equals 2n I didn't do anything with, so bring it down. But I can combine minus 2 and minus 3 is minus 5. Okay? Any questions? So I combined on both sides of the equal sign. That's a possibility, right? Okay. Now what do I do? Tell me in the chat. Help me out. What's my next move? Look at your list. We combined on either side of the equal sign. What comes next? Come on, don't fail me now. Get rid of one of the variables. Okay. Let's say, which one shall we get rid of? Negative 1n or positive 2n? Okay, let's get rid of 2n. I kind of want to do that myself, so I'm going to go negative 2n. Negative 2n. You cancel. So now, combine negative 1 and negative 2. That's negative 3n minus 6 equals negative 5. Okay? Last couple steps. Get rid of the constant, so I want to add 6. So I get negative 3n equals negative 5 and 6 is 1. Get rid of the coefficient by dividing out. And I end up with n equals, what's my answer? negative 3 doesn't go into 1, so just write it as negative 1/3. My answer turns out to be negative 1/3. And that's it. Any questions? What's the question? I see someone said yes. Did I lose anybody anywhere on this process? Nope. Okay. Does anyone still need to write any of this down? Because once I press stop, it's going to be gone. All right, then.